This week, it seems that people are being pushed in this direction, whether they like it or not, through the things that we're finding out about the world through the Epstein files, where a lot of people describe like you couldn't make this up as if it was a movie script. Things seem to be playing out in a almost theatrical way that is so shocking as to force people to start waking up. Um, I know that there's many people in the spiritual world who see this as a, almost divine intervention style of period that we're going through. But it does seem quite clear that there is a level of waking up into responsibility for ourselves that we are passing through. Um, I actually started to notice this through Osama bin Laden's letter to America, which the deep state did a great job of trying to repress when it came up again at the beginning of the genocide in Gaza. But what one of his main messages to Americans in that was, you need to take responsibility for the actions of your government as citizens if you want to claim to be a democracy, because under your democratic logic, you are electing the people that will carry out policies on your behalf. And if this is what they're going to do to our people, these are the consequences you can expect to see. So in a sense, it was an original wake up call that he gave. There's so much about his links to the CIA and other things that I won't go into now, but in some ways, these type of events call us to wake up to the reality that we live in.
Yeah, so I think the greatest shock of Epstein files is people recognize that the elite, they're not special. Okay, they're
Mm.
not. They're smart. They're not smarter. They're not moral. They're not more. No, they're not more moral. They're not more competent. Okay, they can't even spell properly. Okay, and that's the great truth of this world. The people in positions of power are there because they were born into positions of power. That's something that I discovered when I went to Yale. I go to Yale and I'm expecting like this, this heaven of intellectual brilliance, and it's not. Even the professors were mediocre. They were just like, I mean, like I was like, oh my god, this is like my high school, but it's bigger. That's all it is, and so like, and that's what people need to recognize, that the elite are just you and me. Okay, the only difference is they have all the power, and power corrupts. And so like I was talking to my wife about why Jeffrey Epstein was doing what he was doing. Like why are they doing this? Because like it's disgusting. And her explanation makes the most sense. So, I mean, my wife, she's not from a powerful family, but she grew up in a very powerful organization. And from her early age, she's dealt with powerful people. Okay. So she knows what they're like. Okay. And she explained to me how they are. Okay. So the powerful people are usually born into a position of privilege. And if you're like that, there's no excitement in your life, there's no challenge. It's only just privilege. And privilege is boring, it's numbing. Okay. So for them, the greatest challenge is, how do you find excitement? How do you stir a feeling in your heart in this world? Her explanation is, you do it for children. Okay. Why? Well, first of all, it's like having a doll, right? A doll you can play with, a cat you can play with. But children are much more exciting. You can play with them, you can control them, you can manipulate them, you can abuse them. And the other thing is that you can scare children much more easily. Okay, so there's conspiracy theory where the elite draw energy from adrenochrome. Okay,
Hmm.
uh, and adrenochrome. Okay, and adrenochrome is just blood that is excited, blood that comes from fear. Okay,
Mm.
and if you and so you drink that blood because this blood is rejuvenating. Well, that's a metaphorical statement where, as a powerful person, and you see a child in fear, that excites you. That excites you both sexually and psychologically and emotionally. And so you have seen these videos of like Prince Andrew just running around and grabbing children, and he was like really really excited, really really happy when he's doing that. And the reason why is that's the only thing that can bring him excitement. Another example is a Squid Game. I'm not sure if you've seen the Netflix series, The Squid Game, right? The entire
Yeah.
premise of the Squid Game is you have all these rich people in South Korea, and they have like the most money in the world. They can do whatever they want. They can like sleep with like the like the most beautiful movie star in the world. They don't want to do that because it's boring. Okay, they're looking for some excitement in their life, and that's why they create the Squid Game. All right, so the Squid Game is just a metaphor for Epstein Island, where people are just these people are bored, man. They're bored by everything. They're bored by their own lives. They're bored by the people around them because they're all psychopaths. They're bored by power itself because they've experienced it all, and so like they're looking for like novelty in their lives, and that's what children bring. Okay, there's also and it's like, why are they so blatant about this? And my wife says it's psychology, where you have to have a risk of getting caught. You have to have the risk of being exposed in order for this to be exciting. Okay,
Mhm.
if it's all just hidden from everyone and no one can ever find out, and there's no risk, it's not funny. It's not fun anymore. Right? So I understand this sounds really disturbing, but unfortunately, if you give a certain group of people too much power, then this is the way they behave, and this has been true historically. Okay, you look at any society in China. Guess what, guys? We do the same thing. All right, don't think that Chinese are more superior because of Confucianism. Don't think that the Indians are superior because of their Vedic tradition. No, everyone's the same. If you put people in positions of power, they're going to abuse it. All right. And what they want ultimately is novelty, excitement, feeling. All right. So, like just you and me, we feel a tremendous rush when we achieve something. Well, they've achieved it all. So they need these sort of like sadistic, satanic rituals in order to feel alive again. Look, the other thing that is not being in the Epstein files, but I'm sure there's lots of them, are snuff films. Okay.
Mm.
I'm sure there's lots of these things because that's what they do, man.